Hello, here I'm going to talk you through how to do question one of the project. That's the one where you asked your movie theater customers what their favorite type of movie is. So we're going to be using Excel to create a frequency distribution and a Pareto chart for the responses to that question. So you should have your spreadsheet saved somewhere where you know where to find it, but if you can't find it, you can go back to the page on Canvas where you submitted it and download it again. So go to where you have your spreadsheet saved and open it up in Excel. You should see your familiar data spreadsheet page in Excel. And so we're going to be working today with the responses to question one, which appear here in column B. The first one is in cell B3. In mine it says comedy, and yours it might say something different. But click on that and then drag all the way down through all 55 of the responses in that column. Then release the mouse button and go up to the top, click on Insert, and click where it says Pivot Table. A box will pop up. You just have to click OK. And Excel creates a new page of the spreadsheet file that looks like this. And we need to go over on the right of the screen and check the box next to Favorite Movie. When you do that, this will appear, this list of the different responses. On some computers, this might not appear automatically. You might have to click on the words favorite movie and then drag them down into this box labeled rows. So I think that's especially an issue on a Mac, where you'd have to drag the words favorite movie from here down into the rows box. But no matter what computer you're using, we are going to click on the words favorite movie and then drag that down into the values box. And when we do that, look what happened. Now there is another column here of the table showing the count for each of these. How many people gave each of these four responses? You're probably going to see different numbers than what I've got here, but mine say that 13 people said that action movies were their favorite, 20 for comedy, 10 for romance, and 12 for thriller. So we're going to change the headings here. So I'm going to double click in cell A3 and type the words favorite movie type. Well, first I'm going to delete what's already there and type in favorite movie type. And I'm going to widen this column so we can see the whole words. Notice I've capitalized each word and I've spelled them correctly. And now in B3 here, I'm going to change it from count of favorite movie. I double clicked and this popped up. And notice that where it says custom name, count of favorite movie is highlighted. I'm just going to type in the word frequency. And hit OK to change the label on that column. I'm going to remove the grand total row here. I'm going to right click on the words grand total. And then on the pop-up menu, I'm just going to click where it says remove grand total. So now that row is gone. Now I'm going to create a percent column. I'm going to double click in cell C3 and type the word percent. Now I'm going to go back and make it bold by clicking on the bold icon. I want to shade this the same color as these other two. So I go up to the paint can, click on the down arrow, and find the color that matches what's already there in those other two columns. And I think it's the 5th box over in this second row. The one where if I hover over it, it says blue accent 1 lighter 80%. So if I click on that, that turns it so that the background color in that cell matches those other two. Now I'm going to click in cell C4 and I'm going to type from the keyboard equals B4 /55. So that means that's going to be equal to the number in cell B4 divided by 55. Then I hit enter and it shows up as a decimal. So 13 divided by 55 is 0.236364. I want to change that to a percent. So I'm going to click back on that cell. And now if I go up to the top here, there's a percent button where if I click that, it's supposed to change that to a percent. Now sometimes that doesn't work. You'll notice just now when I clicked that, it didn't change this to a percent. Instead, it made it boldface. So if that percent button doesn't work for you, there's a couple other ways to make this a percent. One is to use the pull-down menu that's directly above that percent button. So if I click on the pull-down menu, go down, select percentage, now it is a percent. Let me go ahead and turn off the bolding that accidentally got turned on when I hit that percent button. Another way to change this to a percent is to type Shift, Control, and the percent button on your keyboard. You can't see me doing that, but if I do that, it changes that to a percent. Right now, it's showing us 23.64%, and if you want to leave it like that, that's okay. But if you don't want the decimal part, if you just want it rounded to the nearest whole percent, I can go up here and click this button here that says Decrease Decimal. Each time I click it, we have one less decimal place showing. So by clicking that 2 times, it shows just the percent rounded to the nearest whole percent, 24%. Now there's still a green box around that cell with a little tiny box down at the bottom right corner. I'm going to click on that little tiny box and drag down through the other 3 cells. And when I release the mouse button, it kind of copies down into those other cells so that they also have the percents. So 20 out of 55 is the 36%, 10 out of 55 is 18%, and so on. So now we've got percents for all of these. Now I want to add grid line borders and center the entire table. So I'm going to select the whole table by clicking in cell A3, and I'm not clicking the little box down here. I'm just clicking in the middle of that cell and then dragging over to the right and down. So I've selected the whole table. Now up here, I'm going to select all borders. I'm going to center all those cells. And I'm also going to center them vertically. So both of these centering buttons have been pushed. Now let me go down here and name this cell. I double clicked on it and now I can type favorite movie. So instead of just saying sheet 1, it now says what this represents, favorite movie. Now I'm going to save. So I have this, my work so far saved. Now we're going to make the Pareto chart. So click in cell B4, and we got to sort these from highest to lowest, most frequent to least frequent, because that's the way a Pareto chart is supposed to be organized. So I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to click where it says sort and filter, and click Sort Largest to Smallest. And now it's been sorted. So now the top row is the comedy because that's the highest frequency, and then it goes down from there. Now we're ready to make the Pareto chart. Select all the frequencies again and go up and insert. It would be this right here where it says Insert Column or Bar Chart. And I'm just going to pick the first 2D column chart right here and click on that. So there it is. I'm going to move it over a little so it's not overlapping my table. If you have this little thing over on the side where it says Total, click on that and hit the Delete button on your keyboard to make that go away. And if you have this gray bar down here, right-click on that and click where it says Hide All Field Buttons on Chart, and that will go away. So we don't want those on our chart. Now, click on the words below the first bar. That puts a box around all of those words down there. And now go up, click Home and Bold to make all of those bold. Now click on any number in the side axis. That puts a box around those, and we'll make those bold. Now, click near the bottom left corner of the box, and there's a box around the whole graph. And we're going to right-click on down here, click where it says Outline, and select No Outline. So there's no outline around the graph. We're going to add the title. So I'm going to double-click where it says Total. And I'm going to delete the word total and instead type in favorite movie type. And hit Enter. No, not hit Enter. We don't want another line there. But I want that to be font size 11 and bold. Now let's add a frequency label. So click up here where it says Design. And then go over here where it says Add Chart Element. And we're going to select, go down, hover over where it says Axis Titles, and select Primary Vertical. And it put a little box there with the words Axis Title. I'm going to click on there. I'm going to delete where it says Axis Title. And I'm going to type in the word frequency. And let's make that bold. There. Now, if you click inside the graph between two bars, let me make this go away. See, there's this box with circles around the bars. Let's widen this a little, or no, narrow it just a little like that. That's maybe too much, but a little more, and then maybe drag the frequency label a little bit away from the numbers there. And maybe drag this up so the graph isn't quite so tall. Really, I want the whole thing to be like a little shorter. And that's pretty much it. Now save your work. And now you're going to submit your Excel file just like you did the last time, only this time submit it under the assignment Question 1, Table and Pareto Chart.